That was pretty good.
Before Mr. Baldwin has a meeting, he's going to share a little bit more about Christian stuff from our Chamber of Commerce. And so just go ahead and share what's on your mind.
I can stand up or I can sit back down, but a little bit about the background of why the Christian Chamber of Commerce evolved. I think it's important. How many of you are familiar with Pastor Jimmy Jones of Christ Ministries? Okay. How many of you know the story of how that got started? I think it's important to tell that how the guys came together. It's been about 15 years ago. On a Wednesday night church meeting, he had heard knock on the back door of the church. And he went back there and looked, and here stands a huge black fellow. He says, "I'm hungry, I need something to eat." So Jimmy goes over and opens it, gets the guy some canned goods and stuff, and walks over there and but give it to him. So I said, "You crazy?" He said, "I'm homeless. You're gonna have to cook for me." So he cooked for him. Next week, they're there. Big rattle on the door. There's 5 or 6 more. So they cooked for him. And this evolved, and so they started inviting the people to come to the church and everything. And you know, what happens if you go in a sanctuary and somebody's sitting in your seat? Why are they here? And maybe they don't smell good. They hadn't had a bath because they're living on the street. So the members of that church just didn't really want those people there. So they decided to go out, and so Jimmy became a street preacher. And there's a lot of stories behind that and everything. But the Lord laid it on his heart to do something. At that time, he owned 11 businesses, a very successful businessman. And he said, "Lord, if you want me to do this," he said, "it's got to be you doing it." So he didn't sell the businesses, he closed them down. He took no money out of them. He didn't want a port of retreat. Well, since that time, God has provided. He takes no money, period, from Christ Central Ministries. Nobody there gets any salary. I think maybe Robin, over the Christian Chamber, I think Ted McGee started that. But as far as the people who are there, it's voluntary. They, the budget for just to correspond with the South Carolina Chamber of Commerce, they spend more renting on their office 1 month than the overhead for Christ Central Ministries, and the South Carolina Christian Chamber of Commerce is for a year. So it's good use of dollars. But anyway, he was out there and all this happened. So about 2 years ago now, I guess Ted McGee, you know Ted. Okay. Some guys came to him, and you know, he's an information junkie like I am, and meetings and stuff, but always looking to learn something. So he was drugged down to Fort Lauderdale and heard a guy named Brown Harrison speak. If you haven't ever heard Bob and his philosophy, Google him and look at him. But the meeting was good. But he met a lady from New Jersey, and they had a Christian Chamber of Commerce in New Jersey. And this is wild. About 4 years, so many people are involved in different things. Like I say, I've been involved in Jenny now for 13, 15 years. Walked in there one day taking care of something. Well, there was Ted McGee. I didn't even know. I knew Ted, but I didn't know he was involved. So anyway, fast forward, Ted comes back home with the genesis of the idea of starting a Christian Chamber of Commerce. So I guess it was started out with maybe 24, 25 folks. And we're up now, I think we've got about 75 members. But one of the things that's evolved out of this, we have a GED program. Our goal is to get 4,000 people a year to get the GED. Now, why is that important? Who can tell me why you need a GED if you didn't graduate high school? Yeah, because there's many jobs that you can't even apply for. Now, but here's the frightening thing. I didn't know, I didn't think about it. 88% of the people who pay for a GED never complete it because life gets in the way. They've got children, and they're single, single parents, whatever it might happen to be. There's child care, they don't show up, they're worried about their kids. So what they do now, we've got camps and stuff. In fact, the Nazarene camp over in Aiken County is probably going to become a place where they put a lot of people out there in facilities. But they used a camp down in Wagner this last month, and I think you didn't have many graduated down there, got their GED, but free weekends, no money out of their pocket. They can come and get the GED. We have people from the state that come test them right on the facility to get their GED right then. There's child care provided, they're fed, they're taken care of. So our goal, the one reason for our chamber, well, three things. If they're not saved, we want to bring to a saving knowledge of Jesus Christ. Because I don't know if any of you, but a good friend of mine years ago, he's dead now, he said, I've never seen anyone have a significant change in behavior without a meaningful spiritual relationship with Jesus Christ. He said, if you know another way, he said, tell me. We're trying to help people. And I say the same thing. Because long term, you got to change in here, we change what comes out. You got to control what goes in here, put garbage in, garbage out. And change the environment for people. I mean, we got some of the worst poverty. I've worked in areas where people are still living in houses with a dirt floor. I mean, you go into some of these areas, I've worked 2 or 3 days in areas, hot summertime, no air conditioning in those homes. People that have got, they're walking across on a board because their porch is gone. Now, a lot of that's their fault too, but the fact that we've allowed the politicians to suck the money out, send it to Washington, get 22% off the top and send it back. Anyway, that's what we formed the Christian Chamber. We want to make them tithers and taxpayers and give them their life back. Because, I mean, just like in Allendale County, there is not one privately owned apartment building left there. It's all government subsidized housing. You know what the biggest revenue in Allendale County is? Somebody hazard a guess. What's the largest revenue source in that county? Tickets. Tickets. Writing tickets. Writing tickets. You know, so, but that's just, I'll try to answer a few questions about the chamber, but I'd love to have all y'all come. We meet the third Wednesday of each month down at corner of Sumter and Calhoun. And we start at 11:30. We'll feed you a nice lunch. You'll hear about some of the things that's going on. We have drug and alcohol rehab programs. There's 9 mission stations scattered around South Carolina. There's one out in Arizona, which is an odd deal. When we were on the way out there, we stopped to have, it's crazy how things work. We stopped to have breakfast, and this, people were there. That's where you're from. I said, well, we're Columbia at that time. I said, oh, you know Jimmy Jones? And they got a mission statement out there in Gallup, New Mexico, on the reservation, helping the Indians out there. So those are things that people don't even know is going on. So that's kind of what's happening. I'll try to answer any questions if anybody might have.
Just make sure that I get all the information so that I can spread it out online.
Great, that'd be great, okay. Anybody have any questions?
You said it does a lot of, you do a lot of networking. So is it the businesses that are involved, they're pretty well Christian businesses, right?
Oh yeah, it is the Christian Chamber of Commerce.
Right. Well,
It's not the Economic Chamber of Commerce, it's not the Building Business Chamber of Commerce, it's not a melting pot, it's the Christian Chamber of Commerce.
that's why I want that. Maybe that's a better word.
You know, if that's, you know, not that you're not welcome to come, but we're gonna do everything we can to get you saved if you're not saved.
Lunch is free.
You what?
Lunch is free.
Lunch is free. Well, no, lunch ain't free. We're paying for it.
Right.
There is no such
I
thing. Yeah, I understand. But no money out of your
Make
pocket.
a donation.
There's no money. Yeah, if you want to make a donation, that's fine.
But nobody asks for donation.
None whatsoever. So,
That's a first.
Yeah.
and it's amazing the people that came. Just like, for example, what's the guy that used to own the baseball team here, Shaughnessy, and that his name? Yeah. You know, he flew up here from Mobile just to come and speak to the Christian Chamber. He was that motivated about what's going on here. And he's going to try to take the concept back to the Mobile area there in Alabama. So,
Michelle Bachman spoke to you.
hey, what?
Did I just see that online that Michelle Bachman spoke to the Christian Chamber?
She sure did, and I got quoted in Time magazine about what I said about it.
Oh,
you
God,
should've brought
Roy.
it.
What did you say?
I've got copies of that.
I figured.
So that's another story behind itself. And I'll tell you what I said to Michelle Bachman. And I don't know who I'm going to vote for. When I moved to Lexington County 8 years ago, I knew Ted McGee, didn't know anyone else, but at that time, Nikki Haley was gonna run for the House of Representatives. They got her to do that. And then the guy who was the incumbent there had decided he wasn't gonna not run. So she almost didn't run. And Ted encouraged her. So I asked Ted, I said, I'm new over here. He said, Nikki's a girl. And I told her that day, heard her speak, and she never gave me a reason not to vote for her. She hadn't been able to do everything she wanted to do, but the things we've disagreed on. But she's never given me a reason not to vote for her. I feel the same way about Michelle Bobby. I'm not saying I would vote for her. She's given me no reason not to vote for her.
Don, tell them about the children's home, this Chris Myers.
Why don't you do that?
Well, you probably know more about it than I do.
Well, we both know some about it. And I got some
Well,
brochures.
the Christian Chamber is behind that.
Absolutely.
Ted McGee he gets up real early in the morning and reads the
I'm gonna
Bible.
put a
And
brochure
one morning it just came to him that he had an inspiration to start a children's home. And of course he and Jimmy are good friends. I've known Jimmy since he looked like he was a teenager. And they just got together and they found the property at 2 houses, and Ted Hoover and his brother, I believe, they're both involved in buying and donating one of those houses. And they're going to name this children's home for Donnie Myers' son who died, Chris Myers, children's home. And Ted wants everybody to get their name in this book of love that he started. He doesn't care what they give, he just wants everybody to be involved. You can't give but $1, he said. Please give $1. And, but it's just amazing how this has just grown and grown from Jimmy. I remember going to his little office down there under the bridge almost. Do you remember when he was down there? And how he started this, and people just keep coming and giving more money, and it's going to be a great thing to take children in and to help them. But the same organizations behind that and many other programs. So anything you can do, Ted will come back here again. Thanks for your help.
That's right.
I promoted it
So I remember,
online.
and you
I
remember.
promoted it online about a week or two ago, and
last $2
I'll just
I
keep
got more.
reposting the
Yeah.
information.
That cash money, I had $2 in Ted's, I'll take it.
Just get the word out.
Try
Yeah,
to.
that was funny. It's a good thing we have Laura, huh?
Or I said, don't call the police and tell them I'm, down in the dash.
Yeah.
But your name
I would have
take a
a
look.
few of these, but this is what what else you tell them about this?
Yeah,
Just
we
the
did
basics.
say we passed those out, so
Okay,
we
y'all
really
have
didn't
them.
know what
Everybody
we
Yeah,
were.
No, I
we-
like one.
Some of them.
Some folks may not be here.
Yes.
And just $1, if or if you can, we've had checks from as little as $1 and as big as 250,000 so far. Yes. Okay, well that pretty much covers what I was going to talk about. Any other questions or anything? Okay. And but what I want to see you guys do, take some time one time. I'll be back next week. But I'd love to see everybody talk a little bit about what gets you up in the morning. Why are you here? Why are you here? What do we want to accomplish as a group? What's our long-term goals? I think it's to take our nation back.